Oh, Gardy, it's good to see you this morning. How are you feeling this great and wonderful Thanksgiving week?
I'm feeling good. It's just after 9 o'clock, and I'm excited about this week and what it entails for the family. And there's a lot of reasons to be thankful, even a crazy year, you know?
Oh, and there is. And this is a lot of people's most favorite time of year. And, we want to make sure that people get through the holidays in a way that is rewarding, that it still remains their favorite holiday. You know what I mean? And we want people to enjoy the time with their family that they get to have, and they get to enjoy the experiences of fellowship. I mean, there is things to be thankful for, even whenever it seems like we've had a pretty crazy ride in 2020. And but here we are. The sun came up, and we get to enjoy yet another glorious day, don't we?
Yes. What do you got planned for this Thursday and the rest of this week?
Well, I am thinking about a pecan pie. I think I might have it is going to be gluten-free, but I don't know that it'll be much else super healthy. But I did find a paleo recipe that I think I'm going to try, so it will be more in the paleo realm. So it actually may very well be Dr. Chapa friendly. And so I'm excited about that, and I haven't had a dessert in quite a long time.
When was the last time?
Oh, my gosh. It was...
Like months ago?
Oh, several. I think it was late April is the last, dessert that I had.
Was it for your birthday?
No.
When's your birthday again?
My family's birthday is all in April.
That's right.
Yeah, right? But mine's in October. But even on my birthday, I didn't have a dessert.
Okay.
I've just haven't been doing any sugar. I was kind of just thinking about, Jack LaLanne, he's a famous juice man and famous world-class athlete, and he every year on his birthday would swim across the English Channel dragging buoys behind him to show just, that he's still got it, that he's healthy. And I think that's pretty awesome. Some people do push-ups on their birthday. This guy would swim across the English Channel. I mean, dragging people.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing testament of what the body's capable of. But he always would say that he never did dessert after, his 33rd birthday or 28th birthday. He just never had any sugar that was from a processed source. And, sugar is an acidifying food. I mean, it's very destructive. It's one of the deadly three whites that we avoid. It's white salt, white sugar, and white flour. And so I just been kind of keeping that under my hat. Like, how much can I avoid the obvious sugars that are coming at each one of us? In the holidays, it's very tricky, So with all the keto recipes out there and the paleo recipes out there, I'm kind of looking forward to maybe making me one of those and indulging a little bit.
Yeah, last week on Tuesday, I can't remember, and you're going to have to chime in if you were that person. They said, I have a Chapa approved pecan pie.
That's right.
And I was like, okay, Dr. Chapa approved, then I'm all about it.
Well, and I don't know if I can find it, but I did take a picture of the paleo pecan pie. Actually, I think I even put it in an album to make sure I didn't lose it. I mean,
do not delete.
Yeah, that's right. Do not delete album. Let's see if I can quickly pull it up and we can look at the ingredients if I can. Oh, I hope it does pull.
If you're watching on social media, let us know, what do you have planned for this week? Are you throwing all the rules out the window? Are you going to hang on and be strong? Maybe have some Dr. Chapa approved items, or just, maybe splurge that one day.
And what are those items going to be? We want to know.
Let us know.
Like, what do you see as a healthy treat for you this holiday season, this day? So I'm going to have turkey, of course. I'm going to have a big old salad. The worst thing I'll probably do is the paleo dessert is my kind of plan at the moment.
Speaking of salad, if you're watching on social media and you look at the floor, look at the shot right now with Dr. Chapa, like you see his water jug.
Yes.
And then you see a bag of lettuce.
Oh, yes, yes. It's like, who else brings lettuce for breakfast? You know what I mean?
Just in case.
Just in case. You just never know.
Snack.
It's just a snack. And so, I'm going to be munching on that here through the show. So if you hear some crunch, don't panic. It's just me munching on some bushes. So here we are. So look, the filling is going to have eggs, maple syrup, a little bit of sea salt, a little bit of ghee or grass-fed butter. It looks like it's going to have tapioca flour and an almond, a blanched flour also as a part of the crust. And then it's going to obviously have pecans, and then it's going to have melted ghee, pure maple syrup, tapioca, and arrowroot flour, and vanilla. I mean, this
Sounds good.
This really does look delightful. And they even recommend coconut vanilla ice cream, Gardy, as a topping. I mean, this could actually turn out to be okay. The picture's gorgeous. I mean, I don't know if you can get a little shot of that, but I mean, at the end of the day, that's a gorgeous piece of pie right there. Hello.
Yeah, that looks like it's the real deal.
And so, people think that you can't have fun with healthy food, but the reality is we just have to to survive the Thanksgiving holidays. Remember, it's a meal. It's it's not necessarily a whole week. So just because you're off this week, some of you I know are, or if you have a few days at the end of the week, make sure that you get back on point. Make sure that the sugar that you do bring in is a healthier version. Instead of white sugar, we use the maple syrup, or we use molasses, or we use honey, or we use some of these artificial, or not artificial. We avoid artificial sugars, but we hit like stevia, the 2,000-year-old pseudo sweet plant. It tastes sweet, but it doesn't spike your blood sugar, and it has no ill effects on your body.
Mm-hmm.
Stevia, okay, and it's not in the artificial sugar department. It's just a natural sugar alternative. And but white sugar is just so destructive that it's just no way to really handle getting your health back on track. So if you're going to survive and thrive in the holidays and not put on some weight and not increase those inches around the middle, we got to come up with some plans on how to navigate that. So what does the day look like? For me, I still eat breakfast. I'll actually have I'll have a breakfast before my training session and one after, and then I'll have a meal about 2 hours later, and then we'll have Thanksgiving lunch that afternoon, and that'll probably be it for the day for me. I'll probably not eat everything I normally consume that day, because typically if I put some of those extra things in there, it's going to feel a little bit full.
Yeah, but I thought that was the point.
It is, but I don't necessarily like that
I'm
feeling.
thankful.
Yeah, I'm thankful. Yeah, I'm glad most people are thankful, but I don't like feeling all that full. You know what I mean? Like I like kind of having just a little more room in the tank so that I don't feel bloated and get gassy and feel like tired.
Yeah, comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable. That's pretty clever there, Gardy. I like it. So, 74% of Americans live with some type of GI disturbance. And when we overeat, we have a tendency to inflame the body. When we have GI issues, we have to remember that, one meal might not just throw us over the line, but 2, 3, 4, or 5 of those cheat foods could definitely put us into an inflammatory flare-up that could derail you for the next 2 weeks. And that's how people find themselves gaining weight during the holidays. The average weight, I think, is like 15 pounds, 10 pounds.
Wow.
And it's just sad, because that's it's easy to put on, hard to lose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but you have 6 hormones that are designed to burn body fat. You've got 3 hormones designed to store body fat. But the challenge is, of those 3 hormones that store body fat, insulin, cortisol, and adrenaline, if any one of those hormones kick on, all 6 fat-burning hormones kick off. It's just not fair. So in a ratio that should be 2 to 1, easier to lose weight than to gain weight, one bad move that spikes your sugar, stresses you out, or puts you into a fight or flight response, your body immediately stops burning and starts storing body fat. And that creates a rift in your biochemistry. And if that happens regularly, week after week, that high levels of cortisol will disrupt, that stress response disruption attacks your gut lining. So now you start developing things like leaky gut syndrome. If you get leaky gut syndrome, then now you're vulnerable to the outside world. Things that you're consuming that would naturally normally be healthy, cucumbers, avocado, garlic, onions, things like that should be taking care of your body and supplying nutrients to help you detoxify, are coming through the lining undigested into the bloodstream, and now becomes a foreign invader and wreaks havoc on your inflammatory process, potentially stressing your immune system, potentially creating other unnecessary symptom patterns that you shouldn't be dealing with. And it's all over food, like things that should be helpful to us. And really, it's all over stress, the things that we should have under control. And people are stressed out. Should I travel? Should I not travel? Do I go to a state that's locked down? Do I go to a state that's not locked down? I just don't know what to do anymore, Doc. And they have family that have issues around coming to home for the holidays because of their beliefs on how to handle the mask themselves. And so there's a lot of division going on amongst the holidays. So reminder, one of the best things that we do when we're talking about the stress component in dealing with the holidays is adaptocrine, which is a adrenal ashwagandha rhodiola product that will nourish, strengthen, and heal the heal the adrenal glands to help your body deal with stress and to modulate and manage, because it also has holy basil in it, cortisol. It'll help drop that cortisol level so that your body doesn't flip out. And that is a good thing. And then we add in there some mental mineral breaks called Mentran that will calm your mind, that will help your body not jump off the anxiety cliff when you approach the rails. And instead you'll look over and go, well, I think I'm going to go the other way. And you'll be able to think through the stresses instead of respond negatively to them. Because most of the time, when we react to stuff going on in our environment, it doesn't always go so well. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like when you react and fly off the handle, I mean, you just say things you didn't mean, and you make a fool of yourself, and now you're ashamed of that, and you feel like, terrible for acting out an adult temper tantrum. Heaven forbid that ever happens.
You're right.
And then we bring in a product called Nevaton. And Nevaton is several different herbs that are designed to calm the mind. It's got shatavari in it. It's got damiana in it. It's got St. John's in it. It's got skullcap. It creates a space where your brain can tolerate more stress. Not that you should, but it creates a mental bandwidth expansion pack that allows you to deal with the junk going on very acutely. I've had patients inside of minutes of me putting this in their body can feel this high heat that kind of just that extrapolates out the collar, and they just don't seem as stressed. And it's such a good place. So when we're managing the stress response, getting up to the holidays, we want to make sure that we use things like adaptocrine, Mentran, and Nevaton in order to manage our stress responses, our brain responses, and our mineral capacity to be calm, cool, collected when life seems to happen. Because life's going to happen, right, Gardy? I mean, there's going to be something to stress about, I'm sure.
Always.
And so we just got to remember that we are looking at what is it that you're putting in your body, and then how are you responding to the stresses getting up to the point for which you put into your body. So we are looking, kind of keeping the same theme of the month where we're talking about the health and power of the gut lining. The gut lining is typically a product of bad lifestyle choices that do not get resolved quickly, and people don't realize still. I think I'm still befuddled of the number of people that come in and show me a food log and have no idea how bad partially hydrogenated oil is, canola oil is, corn oil is, vegetable oil is. They think that it's okay. I mean, it's just right there at the eye level at the store. It's got to be healthy, but they would never sell me anything that's unhealthy, right? Mm-hmm. But yet, unfortunately, these oils will clog up your liver so fast, and it will bog down your metabolic engine, and your system will not perform at the level that you are hoping and desiring it to perform at. And that's disturbing, and because you're expecting to get up feeling great today and power through the holiday and enjoy family and friends, but you wake up with headaches, or you wake up with mental fatigue, you wake up with belly pain, you wake up with some sort of ailment that's keeping you from being your best. And then after you eat the meal, you feel like, ooh, really digestively challenged, wishing that, you didn't eat all that, but you ate it anyway because it's family tradition. And now you walk away not realizing, but those bad oils can sabotage you for a month, 2 months, 3 months. And those oils are real poisons that we really have to address and get out of our diet quickly. a lot of GI problems are related to poor lifestyle choices. So we want to help you not make bad choices in your lifestyle and see things that you can do. So like they sell a palm oil or a vegetable oil alternative, margarine alternative that is on the baking aisle that doesn't have any partially hydrogenated oil in it. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's definitely there. We've used it, and it works well as a shortening, as a healthy alternative to shortening. And then the sugar that people are getting into through high fructose corn syrup, which is loaded with minerals, which is processed and genetically engineered corn. I mean, it is a major inflammatory stress on blood sugar pathways. So just because you're not mentally stressed and don't think you need to have a need for adrenal support, you might have biological stress because of this amount of sugar that you're addicted to. You know, because nobody likes the word diet, right? The D-I-E, there's a die in there. And everybody's like, oh, diet means I'm going to die. Well, yeah, we need to turn it into a healthy lifestyle. We need to help you understand how to cheat, when to cheat. What are the rules of the game? We literally have to get back to the basics of health and nutrition in order to build a healthy, strong digestive tract, because what you put in your mouth, typically nothing below your taste buds wants it.
You know, talking about not liking the word diet, die is in there. Also cheat, because that has a negative connotation, which you don't want to cheat on. You know, it's bad. Cheating's bad.
Right.
But at the Iron Den, they call it a refeed.
A refeed.
Refeed meal. And then it takes like, I'm going to use this to refeed my body and kind of get things up, and then I'm going to go work out and push harder the next day at the gym.
That's right.
I thought it was interesting.
And I think that's interesting, a play on words and how our mindset towards food. Like if you have an unhealthy relationship toward the foods that you have, or making lifestyle choice changes, especially if you have conditions, if you have diagnoses, if you have symptom patterns that you were not genetically born with. We believe that all life starts and stops at the cellular level, and nutrition will drive you forward towards better health, or it'll help. You could potentially spiral off out of control into disease land. And we have to build a healthy relationship to and with food so that we don't have this unhealthy, connotation every time we think of, I'm restricting myself. And then we can slip into the ER model. You can't do that. It takes a lot of willpower to be able to overpower your desires, wants, and needs. And there's a book I was reading recently. I'm drawing a name on the title. It'll come to me in a second, hopefully. But it talks about how we, as a culture, seek pleasure and we avoid pain. We seek opportunities to sit back and relax and conserve energy, as opposed to work hard and pursue the goal and the finish line. And we avoid, like the plague, pain. And so it's one of these ideas that nobody realizes pulling into a drive-through is conserving of energy, but they're playing on our willingness to do the least common thing, the lowest common value add to your life. And you have to remember what Mark Victor Hansen always said, pride in ownership is pride in earnership. So if you want to own good health, you got to earn good health. It means you got to start making some choices that you weren't willing to make before in order to get healthy and stay healthy. So if you're sucking down sodas or juice pops or sports drinks that are laden with high fructose corn syrup, or if you feel like you're doing the healthier version and you're doing, say, the natural, the sugar-free version, it says light, sugar-free, zero sugar added. Oh, heaven forbid you do that, because now you're putting in known neurotoxins that are sabotaging and poisoning your body's brain ability to communicate to the rest of the system. And then if it's the holidays, so people are obviously indulging in alcohol, this can create all kinds of stress on the GI tract. And alcohol's it literally converts to sugar, and it in and of itself is a toxin. And so your body has a hard time breaking this stuff down, so it's another biological stress compounded by all the other stresses that you get few hours of buzz feel feel good, and then all of a sudden you get 2 or 3 days of headache. Was it worth it? I don't know, man. It's up to you. For me, not so much. I'm not really into it. So people are overusing medications. I mean, the holidays can also be a stress in that department because maybe they're lonely. Maybe they don't have family close by. Maybe they can't travel. Maybe there's some circumstance that keeps them locked up, especially in this society. A lot of people are going to be alone in the hospitals because they can't get in there to be with them. They can't go visit the old folks' home so they can be with their loved ones that are in the elderly facilities. And because of all the stuff going on medically or around COVID these days. And so these are new stresses that we are all learning to what? Navigate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went on a double date recently, and it's very challenging to even go on a double date because there's blue X's all over the floor, and apparently I can't sit with the couples can't sit together, right? Unless you're at a table or, and heaven forbid that you don't have a mask on. I mean, they'll turn you away with service. I mean, and it's just a wild experience to go out in the world and navigate and to see the people's responses and to see how much fear and how that fear is driving division, and that division is creating opposition. And now what used to be a fun experience to go out with friends and to get to know new couples and just to have some time away from kids and go have some adulting time or whatever
becomes
a new level of stress. I hope they don't kick us out.
Right.
I'm over there sucking down some Zypan and eating some Enzicor thinking, oh my gosh, my digestion's already stressed out, because when you get stressed, your body goes into a fight or flight response, right? Well, I got to defend myself. So my blood's in my extremities, not in my digestive tract. So then I have to take Zypan, which is a stomach acid product to prime the digestive tract, or enzymes to help my enzymes be more productive in breaking down the food. And then the exposure to new toxins, whether it's like herbicides, pesticides, and the natural non-infectious allergies of the world are still a player. So biological stresses are coming at us every which way to Sunday. And then if you're buying, foods that aren't necessarily pesticide free, then you're sucking up those chemicals. A lot of times it makes me laugh when I see documentaries because people don't even pay attention. They just look at the spray that they're spraying on it, but they don't take note that the guy spraying the stuff on the crop or whatever is in a hazmat suit covered twice. You know what I mean? If it's that deadly for him, then why do we think it's okay to spray that all over our food that we're going to ingest? And we just don't understand agriculture these days. I had a patient tell me, why do I need to worry about farming when I could just go to HEB? And I go, well,
that's actually a good question, though.
Where do you think that produce comes from?
Right, yeah.
So it's just funny how people are still at a state where, ignorance is a little blissful, right? Like we just take for granted how easy it is that we can run up to the grocery store and get anything we want on the fly. And we assume just because it's in the grocery store, we've been conditioned that everything in there is okay and healthy. But we've heard over the years, where's the healthy food, Gardy? On the perimeter, right?
Right, shop the perimeters of the grocery store.
That's right, because why? All the stuff in the middle is processed box stuff that doesn't seem to serve us very well. And I mean, I remember my daughter and I walking down the bread aisle, and 95% of the breads were all enriched wheat flour, thiamine mononitrate ingredients, which are all fake ingredients. Some even I've read where it's coal tar derivatives that make up a lot of the nutrients they put back into that stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, why in the world would we consume those things? But yet people do it day in and day out and don't even think twice about it. And that's what's driving the health of people into the dirt. They're malnourished. There's no mineral base. And the only way to turn that around is to start educating yourself, especially if you have symptom patterns, especially if your kids have symptom patterns, especially if your loved ones have symptom patterns that they weren't genetically born with. Because we know that anything you can develop, you can what, Gardy?
You can undevelop.
You can undevelop it. So
yes.
The good news is it can be undeveloped. So we just got to help people realize that a toxin is just anything your body can't use. And when we spray toxins on our food, when we take in toxins from our environment, when we eat and drink bad water or processed sugary drinks that have these artificial ingredients in there, it takes a toll on our stomach. It takes a toll on our intestines. It stresses out our pancreas. It stresses out our adrenal system. And, of course, it overloads the liver, and then it backs up into the lymph, and the lymph can't keep up with the trash elimination system. So we want to encourage you that if you've got symptoms such as like diarrhea or gas or abdominal pain or intestinal issues of any kind, bloating, gas, belching, these are all things that can be resolved just by addressing your diet that you may be directly causing and be able to directly affect for the positive. And 21% of Americans are binging on food at any given point in a day. And I think that stat's low. I think it's even higher than that. I mean, people emotionally eat all the time, and we're seeing more and more digestive distress. I mean, antacid cells are up, and antacid medication prescriptions are being sold across the country. And what this is doing is destroying the stomach's ability to break down food. Mm-hmm. And we talked about last week and the week before about north to south eating. Like, if your stomach can't break it down, it's just another burden of stress on your intestinal system and your liver system to be able to break it down, right? So the goal is that everybody does their job. We chew well, we eat well, we chew well, we digest well, and then we assimilate what we need, get what we get from that nutrient or from that food source, and then we get rid of what we don't need. So then we have to make sure that everything in the system is running appropriately, because what tends to happen is people get bogged down and sick with backlog, because if stuff is going through our bodies too slow, guess what's going to happen?
You get backed up, clogged up, 15 meals chilling in your stomach, right?
15. Can you imagine? I mean, if you eat, 6 meals a day, I mean, that might be just 2.5 days, but most people might be intermittent fasting and only eating, 3 times a day or twice a day. And I mean, so that could be, a good 6 days worth of stuff caked up inside of you. Mm-hmm. And that just doesn't sound healthy to me. I mean, have you ever thought about putting your oven on 100 degrees and leaving like a steak in the oven and seeing what it looks like in 3 or 4 days after it's sat there at 100 degrees?
That's a good experiment. Someone try that and then let us know.
And then let us know. Video the whole thing, because my wife won't let me do it.
Mine wouldn't either.
Yeah,
I would eat it before the day. I was like, okay, and it's done, medium rare.
So, and that's the thing, right? It's like the 3 days at 100 degrees, it's going to be rotten. And that's what our body temperature is. Plus, we got digestive bacteria hanging out in our digestive tract, and that's going to irritate and cause fermentation, and it's going to just cause those food sources to rot sooner and faster. And so we don't want that kind of stuff. So let's talk a little bit about what a holiday tool chest could look like for you, because we all know, that what I'm talking about is you got to change your diet, but here's this one day coming where we kind of like let go of the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. No, I'm just kidding.
That day sometimes turns into a week, if we're being honest, because there's a holiday party at work. The kids,
and the turkey's big, and you can't let it go to waste.
I hate wasting food.
That's right.
Right. So it'll last a little bit longer, and it sometimes turns into a week. So, but we need the holiday tool chest.
Yes,
we need it.
I think the holiday tool chest is going to be a powerful addition to anybody's holiday experience supplementally. So we use some products in the office, one called Zypan and Enzicor. These are absolute must when you're dealing with heartburn, indigestion, or bloating. Well, preventatively, if you know you're going to be eating crazily on Thanksgiving or even the day after, Gardy, I'm talking to you, Zypan and Enzicor are going to be used prior to the meal. You just got to remember to take it.
So before.
That's right.
Okay.
Now, if you forget, take it in the middle. Just get it in there because it will help you break down food that you're eating maybe a little too much of.
Okay.
It'll help you break down food that maybe you shouldn't have been eating in the first place.
All of it.
I'm just saying. Yeah. And then if you know that you're going to be getting into the sugars, We have 3 products that we use regularly to help balance blood sugar and to regulate your cravings for sugar. And I know you think, why would I want to worry about cravings? Today's my, what'd you say earlier? My refeed day.
Refeed.
I got it. But you still want to give your body's, the pancreas, the beta cell support so that it doesn't fall off the wagon and you're craving for the next month instead of just for the next couple days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we use a product called Diaplex and Gymnema. Diaplex helps the body regulate blood sugar through liver support, enzymatic support, and digestive support and enhancing absorption. Gymnema regulates the beta cells of the pancreas and helps your blood sugar's craving cycle go away, even if you got into something that you shouldn't have eaten. I think you and Kurt had an experience one time with Gymnema where I gave y'all some Gymnema and then somebody brought y'all some really wonderful Greek desserts and delicacies, and they tasted like cardboard.
It was weird. Yeah,
and y'all were so disappointed.
Yeah, and I didn't catch it to begin with. I was like, this is weird. Like, I never had it before, but I was like, it doesn't taste like anything. And then,
and then you realized, Chapa,
he got us again.
He got us again.
We didn't know they were bringing in food.
It was really fun, though, because we know how
it works.
Much of a sweet tooth one of your counterparts has. And so we had to, having him think that it tasted like cardboard was funny.
Yeah.
And then Cataplex B, helps the body deal with carbohydrate intake. Who doesn't eat carbohydrates on the regular, much less eat a ton of carbohydrates on Thanksgiving, right?
Right. My wife, now that she's gluten-free.
Yeah, okay. Well,
yes.
But it's interesting. She'll still find carbs. It'll baffle you. I mean, it could be the carbs in a sweet potato, carbs in a regular potato. It could be carbs in, I'm not saying she will and probably shouldn't, but she might get into corn casserole or something like that. And somebody might make her a gluten-free stuffing. And they're like, oh, look, we made you this. And she's like, oh, thanks.
Right.
But those carbs can be down-regulated and help to be supported just using a product called Cataplex B. We do have a gluten-free version of that product as well. But B vitamins are really useful in helping deal with carbohydrate overload or just general, if you have a general kind of find yourself sleepy and tired after a meal, you could always take Cataplex B to help the body digest and manage those carbs more effectively. And then we get to my favorite medicine chest item, by far probably the fave of faves, and it's called AF Beta Food. AF Beta Food is a liver processing product. I take anywhere from 15 to 20 of these little tablets a day, and people go, that is a lot. And I have been doing that pretty consistently for the majority of my career because the liver's the giver. The more we take the liver and nourish it, and we massage it, and we care for it, and we help it to detox. I never want weeds to grow up around my liver. I never want whatever that would look like, right? It could be gallstones, liver stones, bile duct stones. It could be just congestion and backlog. Liver enzymes start kind of creeping up a little bit. Cholesterol levels start changing. I don't want to take or wait and have to go out there and de-weed around that system. That system is so important. It needs to be free of trash, free of debris all time because it is such a vital piece. They think that it might be involved in every metabolic process of the body, but we know for sure 600 different pathways in the body. 600. I mean, could you imagine if there was 600 ways to get to your house? I mean, the liver has a pretty outstanding need for support. And so we need to make sure. And AF Beta Food is just one of those products that does a fantastic job. It's primarily a beet product, but it also has key nutrients, viscerally speaking, that help to nourish and strengthen the aspects of liver function and help your body produce digestive enzymes and bile and break down fat and help the liver be a decongested system and not a congested system. And then my all-time favorite, Congoplex, is a medicine test item. Who wouldn't want this in their medicine chest? This knocks out colds and flus or bugs typically in 24 hours. I mean, it's amazing. And this stuff doesn't even treat the disease or cure it at all. What it does is it supports your body's immune system very acutely. It helps seal and heal the gut. It helps strengthen the brain's communication line to the immune system. It strengthens T cell production from the thymus gland and other key producers in the body and your immunity. It delivers calcium lactate to the tissues so that the tissues get what they need in the form of an abundant immune mineral. Calcium is one of the most abundant minerals for calcium, calcium is one of the most abundant minerals for immune activation. And so Congoplex provides the immune boosting support so that your body can fend and ward off diseases before they take root. So if you found yourself sick for a few days, few weeks, it doesn't, won't knock it out in 24 hours. But I just had a patient just the other day. She came in 4 weeks. She was a new patient. 4 weeks she had a cold, and she said it was tough for her. It was tough for her, but it was the first time in her life that she had ever fought an infection without drugs. So today, it took her 4 weeks to kill to deal with the bug. Like, her body took that long to manage it. But of course, we were supporting her and helping her through it. The next time she goes through a bug that would normally knock her down for 4 weeks, guess how long it's going to take? Half the time, right? Mm-hmm. Then the next time, it'll be like sparring. She's going to be a little bit more conditioned, a little bit more in shape, and it's going to take her a week. And the next time, it'll take her a couple days. And the next time, it'll take her 24 hours. And the next time, it'll take her 12 or less hours to polish a bug that would normally knock her down for 4 weeks. Because when you've never supported your immune system and you get exposed to a bug, or you just, around sick people for whatever reason, and you're more susceptible to picking up their junk, this product right here will boost your immune system as if you've never trained before. It'll give you some downloaded training on how to go and fight, but it might take you a little longer the first time. And we can't get upset about that. That's okay. That's the fun of the process. But here's the good news. Now she made it through drug-free, which means the next time it's going to be faster.
That's probably why people get so freaked out. It's like, it's a new virus. There's a new virus. We don't know how to fight it yet. And, there's not medicine for it, but there's ways that you can boost your own immune system, make sure that you're best prepared.
That's correct. And that's what we want to do, is to give you the tools. And that's why this tool chest is such a valuable tool, not just for the holidays, but even traveling, but definitely going through the holidays. So, and I hate to bring this conversation up, but it's coming. Intestinal cleanse number 1. If your bowels are not moving, if you're not having 1 to 2 bowel movements every day, folks, you're missing a huge piece of your healthcare plan. 80% of all health, disease, or all disease and health starts in your digestive tract. And there are people, celebrities that had died, and they found that due to colon cancer, 32 pounds of fecal matter built up in their tissues. And it's just like, oh my gosh, like, who could walk around with that stuff? Have you seen some of the beer guts walking around? Have you seen some of the, the muffin tops that go around? Why
are you looking straight at me right now, Dr. Chapa?
It's just here in front of me. It's just here in front of me.
Okay, all right.
But the reality is what if all of that stuff that you're toting around is trash that your body couldn't get rid of intestinally? Now it's got it stored in fat cells. A fat cell can swell up 7 times the size of normal. And so maybe you're a product of things that you've been eating. One of my mentors always would joke around, and he would say, if you want to become a sugar-filled lump of dough, eat it.
Easy.
And I'm like, oh.
Well, when they swell up so much, don't they split?
Not always. Your body will build new fat cells, and a lot of those fat cells are very difficult to get rid of or to open up and to work with. But now with our Zerona laser, we're able to work with those fat cells, disrupt that cell membrane, give the fat membrane and the metabolism permission to burn that trash.
How about when your body creates a new fat cell? Does that fat cell ever go away? Obviously, it can shrink and get bigger.
So that is where people say that once you develop a fat cell, it'll never go away. I believe that anything your body can develop, it will undevelop. If there's no need for it, your body will recycle it, and it will put it back through into circulation, and then it'll dispose of it accordingly if you don't have a ongoing need for it. And typically, if you're diabetic, pre-diabetic, have a high hemoglobin A1C, or you have blood sugar issues, high triglycerides, high cholesterol, these are all like kind of your indicator lights that you might have, pre-diabetes type symptom patterns in the blood work. And then if you have the actual presentation of excessive fat around the middle, this is blood sugar fat, and hormone fat due to imbalances in your blood sugar. So blood sugar is an important piece of the conversation, but if the bowels aren't moving, there's going to be stress on the liver, there's going to be stress on pancreatic blood sugar production and breaking down food. And so we want to make sure that we're cleaning out the bowels. So if you're constipated and your bowels aren't moving and you have a lot of stomach issues and belly pains, you get headaches and migraines, intestinal cleanse number 1 is your best friend. And I would rather you take this stuff every day and make sure that your bowels are kicking than not. Because if the dude don't move...
I'm going to make sure that I point to this. The dude don't groove.
That's right. The dude don't groove.
I keep
That's
it here
right.
just in case.
Just in case.
On my towel.
We could even change it if the do don't move.
The do don't groove.
That's right.
Right.
So then Digestive Forte, I love taking this product. I take this all in the first thing in the morning a lot of times to prime my digestive pump. This is digestive bitters. And so this helps to tell the body, hey, wake up, digestion, the sun's up and we're going to be eating today. And we don't want you to be, caught wanting or wishing you were more prepared. Digest Forte helps the body break down, food that's going to be coming down the pike. And so if your body's already kind of warmed up and alert, you're just not going to get injured, if you will. You're going to be better equipped to go in and break down whatever food source that you're taking in. And then so the last two items we kind of already spoke to in just dealing with stress, and it would be Nevaton, Adaptocrine, and Mintran, because these guys have the ability to help you deal with the challenges that you are faced with when you're stressed out. So we're talking about Adaptocrine to manage the stress and the cortisol, the Nevaton to manage the bandwidth, and the Mintran to help calm those mental breaks so that you don't drive off anxiety lane and get yourself in a pickle. And so there's your holiday tool chest, and you can give us a call, 281-554-8600, and take advantage of some of those tool chest items, especially coming up at our Black Friday special. Black Friday, this is going to be just in a few days, and I think we've gotten about as prepared as we can. We've got a lot of pre-orders. You should see one of our back rooms. I mean, it is ready to go, and but it's going to be 10% off all of our supplements for all of our patients, and 20% off for all patients who have an active package in our office. And so you can call the office again, 281-554-8600 for more details on what that package looks like if you want to get the big 20% discount. But it is definitely a heck of a deal because you actually get more than that because we already give a discount on our products just for being patients of ours. So we're really proud to be able to do this for you guys and to be a blessing. And I hope that you guys are thankful because, I mean, it's a lot of work to put this kind of stuff together. But we want you to have the tool chest. We want you to have the resources. We want you to have what you need because doesn't, infection always hit on a weekend or a belly pain hit on a weekend or a trauma happen on a weekend when the office is closed? Well, if you've got some of these medicine tool chest items or there's a trip coming up, you're ready and you'll have these things available to you and you'll be blown away. Don't wait even for life to happen. Just start taking some of this stuff and supporting your liver, supporting your blood sugar pathways, supporting your stress management pathways, and making sure that your liver's performing optimally well, and you'll be blown away how good you feel more often than not.
My wife sent me to go get some supplements from Living Well, and of course it would be the week before the Black Friday sale. She's out. She has to send me in there, and I was like, well, can you wait till Friday, Black Friday, a huge sale going on? But she could not wait, so I said, "Okay, we got to get it.
Yeah,
we got to get it
get
now."
what you need. That's right, and we definitely. But we are close. I mean, we're just days away. So the talk is clocking. The clock is ticking, and all is good. So, all right. So we know that it's a challenging time of year, or it can be to eat right. But we want to just encourage you and remind you: inflammatory foods do not go away from November to December. They will still kick your butt. They will still rob you of health. They will still move you in a direction you don't want to go. So be on point all the way up to Thanksgiving. Get back on track as quickly as humanly possible. If you struggle getting back on track, that's why we have Diaplex, Gymnema. Those are the things that are going to pull you back online. AF Beta Food, pull you back online. And when you start bringing in these extra support items, you won't find yourself, off the rails long, because you're going to start feeling the effects of health in such a way where you look forward to waking up in the morning because you don't have pain like you used to. Your joints aren't swollen. Your head doesn't hurt. Your hormones aren't out of sync. Your skin is clear. Whatever the symptom that you deal with on the regular is, anything your body can develop, it can undevelop. These are just your body crying out for nutrients. It's crying out for help, and it's crying out for attention to avoid certain things that you're doing every day and don't even have a clue that you're doing it. So we know the reality is that we have the holidays and we want to enjoy them. Just remember, you can also do some of our easy 10-day blood sugar reset programs. We have 10. So like if you go into the holiday, go right into a 10-day blood sugar reset program or a inflammatory reduction program post the holiday. And that'll all prepare you for our 21-day detox that we're going to be launching in January, which we'll have some more dates coming up on that here soon. We can probably put them in the chat log. I believe we've got those organized on when we're starting our 21-day. I mean, can you believe we're already starting our 21-day detox hit?
I'm going to tell you, I cannot believe it. I can't believe it. It's already time again.
It is.
I feel like we just got through the halfway point, and now it's already time to prepare for another one, which I guess is good. Let's, do another one.
Yeah, and every 6 months, we need to do 42 days a year of detoxification, and we will find that most of the time changing the oil, like tilling the garden, getting out there and doing some de-weeding, does amazing things when you put that same analogy to health. And we want to make sure that you see that you're in more control of your health than you might realize. And so when we're going through the health journey, be mindful. It's your life, it's your health, it's your choice. There's going to be options to cheat. I know you're going to cheat, but we gave you a ton of tools, Cataplex B or the Enzicor or the Zypan, to take whenever you're out and about. If you're going out to eat, if you're going to a family function, bring your enzymes, bring your stomach acids, bring those B vitamins. Be ready for whatever you might indulge in or do that you normally wouldn't do because you're giving yourself a green light because it's the holiday. And, most of all, let's be thankful. Let's really go back to to where Thanksgiving and the holidays should be. It should be a time of family. It should be a time of just a joyful experience where we're getting to spend quality time with people we care about and love. And if you don't love the people that you're with, that might be the answer to a different question. But we'll you take some Adaptogrin, Mentra, and Nevaton. We got some tools there to help you out. And so, but I know that I'm thankful for all of you guys. I'm thankful for the experience to be on the radio, all through the holidays with you guys. And I hope that you guys know that we want to be a health and wellness resource for you, your family, and all your wellness needs. If you get sick, you get a cold, come in. We are open. We are serving patients. We are doing a great work in taking care of God's people and just leading them and helping them navigate the stresses of the time. And helping them know, hey, eat more of this, eat less of this. Hey, be reminded, you're not alone on this journey. Just because you know one person that seemingly can eat whatever they want and never gain a pound, they can eat whatever they want, and they don't seem to ever have any health condition, a crisis, or flare up in any way. There's 99 other people that are suffering when they make those types of choices. So it's people just don't know that there's an option. And so part of why we come on the radio is we want people to know there are options for you who are living below your optimal potential. Just because you're 40, just because you're 60, just because you're 80, doesn't mean that you have to live your chronological age. You can be 5, 10, 15 years below energetically your chronological age. Doesn't that sound good?
Sounds great.
How else do you think I'm going to be 125 fully functional in spirit, mind, and body and be decrepit, broken, and run down? That doesn't sound very exciting.
No.
People are like, oh, I'm glad you made it, but you sure don't look too good.
Yeah.
I want to be fully functional. That's why I always put that out there. I want to speak those things that aren't on as though they were, fully functional in spirit, mind, and body, knowing that, it's God's plan. I don't know what he has in store and when he's going to take me. And we all have an expiration date. But at the end of the day, he also said to prepare, for what I want my life to look like when I'm done with it. Like, I want to turn this earth suit back in well used, but I want to turn it in functional. I want to say thank you. I love Romans 12:1. I beseech thee, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. And I believe that if we see everything we do, from the food we eat, the fluids that we drink, and the attitude we have day in and day out, the rest we get when we go to sleep at night affects our longevity and our vitality, how long we live and how much energy we put into those living days. I think that we would find ourselves in a position where we're able to serve people very, very greatly. And I'm just thankful, and I'm thankful for the technology, because I had a patient come in this past week that she had identity theft, she had a loss of a loved one, and she was, frustrated about, some of the politics going on in the world today. And she was just, she's normally very jovial human being and loves, what we do. And, but she just wasn't her bubbly, cheerful self. And I literally I stopped. I gave her, 2 adaptocrine. I gave her 2 Neviton. And then I took some Lang Lang oil and just rubbed it on her collarbone, chest meridians, and around her neck, and just had her breathe these oils into some of this tension she was having, and then I just spoke some scriptures over, to help just encourage her, that we don't have to live with anxiety, that no temptation has overtaken us except such as common to man. But God is faithful, who will not allow us to be tempted beyond what we are able, but with the temptation will also make a way of escape so that we may be able to bear it. That's in 1 Corinthians 10:13. It's just amazing that, God has an answer for every one of our challenges and every one of our experiences. And I was able to share some verses with her, but which is the most important vitamin I give anybody. But then the oil treatment, the supplemental support, and then the adjustment, I just got to thinking, how blessed am I? I mean, we literally see miracles, Gardy, every day at Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. And it's easy to see so many wonderful miracles. Migraine sufferers that don't have migraines anymore. People that have earaches that were having a scheduled surgery were able to interrupt and not have to have those surgeries. Tonsils that were supposed to be removed that didn't get removed. 20-year success story, just amazing to see. Skin disorders that wouldn't go away, anxiety, fatigue, depression, suicidal thoughts. I mean, all kinds of stuff that are no longer these people are dealing with. They're set free of all this stuff, all through lifestyle modifications, all through detoxification, all through remineralization, refeeding the body, and lots of prayers from me to you and my family to you, and my staff to you. Man, we are in the trenches, and I don't ever want to forget how grateful and thankful I am for all of the blessings that God's bestowed upon me and the gifts, knowledge-wise, that He's given me to share with so many wonderful humans each and every day at Living Well. And that's what we do there. I mean, it's a miracle facility, and I just want people to know that, if you have health challenges and you have been told that there's nothing they can do, if you have health challenges and you don't know what to do next because the medications aren't working, and the idea of surgery just scares the tar out of you, give us a call, 281-554-8600. Come visit us at justlivewell.com, and let us help you. Let us serve you. Let us rebuild you through better, healthy choices, through better, healthy implementation of those choices so that you can live long and prosper each and every day.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, brother. That's the goal, man. So I am, again, want just to remind folks, this Friday, Black Friday sale, 10% off all to all patients and 20% off for all patients that have an active package in the office, and the office staff and team up there will teach or will tell you how to take advantage of the biggest discount there ever. And this is our gift to you. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful, blessed, amazing week. I hope that you enjoy family. I hope you enjoy the food, and I hope you get back on track quick, fast, in a hurry.
This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. My name is Gardy, hanging out with Dr. Aaron Chapa, Living Well Clinical Nutrition Center. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask those in the comments. If you're watching on social media, you can also hit the share button and spread some positivity, especially this week. And we also want to hear what you're thankful for as well. Thank you, Dr. Chapa. Have an awesome Thanksgiving week, you and your family.
You too, buddy. Hope that you guys have a wonderful, blessed, amazing week. I hope that